Up until the 1970s, cryptography had been based on symmetric keys. That is, the sender encrypts their message using a specific key, and the receiver decrypts using an identical key. Lock and unlock are inverse operations. Alice could buy a lock, keep the key, and send the open lock to Bob. Bob then locks his message and sends it back to Alice. No keys are exchanged. This means she could publish the lock widely and let anyone in the world use it to send her a message. And she now only needs to keep track of a single key. Let's do a simplified example with colors. How could Bob send Alice a specific color without Eve, who is always listening, intercepting it? The inverse of some color is called a complementary color, which when added to it produces white, undoing the effect of the first color. In this example, we assume that mixing colors is a one-way function because it's fast to mix colors and output a third, and it's much slower to undo. Alice first generates her private key by randomly selecting a color, say red. Next, assume Alice uses a secret color machine to find the exact complement of her red, and nobody else has access to this. This results in cyan, which she sends to Bob as her public key. Let's say Bob wants to send a secret yellow to Alice. He mixes this with her public color and sends the resulting mixture back to Alice. Now, Alice adds her private color to Bob's mixture. This undoes the effect of her public color, leaving her with Bob's secret color. Notice Eve has no easy way to find Bob's yellow since she needs Alice's private red to do so. Let's do a simple example to see all of this in action. Say Bob has a message he converted into a number using a padding scheme. Let's call this M. Then Alice generates her public and private key as follows. First, she generates two random prime numbers of similar size and multiplies them to get n, 3,127. Then she calculates phi of n easily since she knows the factorization of n, which turns out to 3,016. Next, she picks some small public exponent e, with the condition that it must be an odd number that does not share a factor with phi n. In this case, she picks e equals 3. Finally, she finds the value of her private exponent d, which in this case is 2 times phi of n plus 1 divided by 3, or 2011. Now, she hides everything except the value of n and e, because n and e make up her public key. Think of it as an open lock. She sends this to Bob to lock his message with. Bob locks his message by calculating m to the power of e mod n. Call this C, his encrypted message, which he sends back to Alice. Finally, Alice decrypts his message using her private key, D, accessed through her trapdoor. C to the power of D mod n equals Bob's original message M.